So Nintendo lawsuit has gone to the next level. Okay. Keep in mind, this is the same company that just tried to patent, I think successfully patent, summoning a creature. Okay. Summoning a creature. I'm fairly certain. Bro, the Nintendo.
Bots here. Only goon bots.
The Nintendo I grew up with was like Super Smash Brothers, Mario, Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, you know, like wholesome, good, like these people can do no wrong. And then it turns out they take off their mask and then they take off their second mask and they're actually just like it's like I'm looking at Osama bin Laden, bro. What the is going on?
I'm gonna sugarcoat this one. Nintendo is an evil company. Yeah. I said it. The same company that gave us Mario, Pokemon, Zelda.
Pre-watched. What the Wait, we're gonna test it. We're gonna test it. Kirby. Oh, Kirby is my favorite. Kirby is my favorite. By far, Kirby is my favorite. I've always loved Kirby. Kirby was my character in Super Smash Brothers. I loved Kirby Air Ride. Oh, dude. I love that game for the GameCube.
Those childhood-defining moments. The Saturday mornings, the midnight launches, the hours grinding in Pokemon Diamond. Yeah, that company, they've gone full-on supervillain. And I know that sounds dramatic, but holy when even the legal mindset, a Fing lawyer on YouTube, who actually knows this legal bulls inside and out, when even he's looking at Nintendo like, yo, these guys are literally out here burning down the gaming community, that's when you know.
Dude, I talked to somebody the other day that was like, I hate this guy. I'm like, how do you hate legal mindset? He's just a lawyer that like talks about gaming stuff on. It's like, oh, he's so wrong about everything. I'm like, well, are you a lawyer? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. Redditors.
It's not just me losing my mind. It's not just some fan rant. This is serious. It all starts with Pal World. You know, the so-called Pokemon with guns game that blew up? Well, Nintendo.
It is Pokemon with guns. It's pretty obviously Pokemon with guns, but also it's Pokemon with slavery, and that's the fun part. In fairness, we have been asking for these games in our, we have been asking for this stuff in our, like, Pokemon games for years. Instead, every single new Pokemon game is the exact same cookie cutter recipe that we had in Pokemon Blue, Red, and Yellow. It's the same shit that we had when we were kids. And, like, at a certain point, we're like, yo, can we, like, enslave people? Like, other NPCs, not just the character, like, the people, too. You know? And they just wouldn't give it to us. It's ridiculous.
Nintendo couldn't handle it. Instead of innovating, instead of competing, they pulled out the lawyer death squad. They're suing Pal World, but not just to crush a competitor. Oh no. They're using this lawsuit to try and nuke the entire modding community.
No, yeah, my brother, he was a Pokemon Red guy. I was a Pokemon Blue guy. I was the blue. I was always Blastoise. That was my shit.
Yeah, they're arguing that mods don't.
We did have Pokemon Yellow at one point. We don't know what happened to that. We think it is lost to the ether.
Count as real art because they require a base game to function. Do you know how insane that is? By that logic, every single DLC Nintendo has ever sold isn't art either. Oh, your $30 Pokemon expansion?
What the fuck?
Guess it doesn't count, right? Your Mario Kart DLC? Trash.
I've always stayed away from making content for Nintendo games because they are such. Well, the word I want to use is overused, but I'm gonna say terrorists about like tournaments and stuff that you want to run for their games. They are so controlling over all of that stuff. It's such a nightmare. And you're like, I just don't want to get sued. You know what I mean? They're piss ants. That's a great word. I like that word. They're piss ants over everything, man. You're just trying to make content for the game, which is honestly helping them and making them look good. And they won't let you do it. They literally won't let you do it. It's cancer.
Apparently. Except when it's making them money, then it's totally art. The hypocrisy is just Jesus Christ. And here's the real danger. If Nintendo wins this bulls, they set a legal precedent. A precedent where big corporations can rip ideas from modders, patent them, and completely erase the people who actually created those innovations.
They're already doing that. I guarantee they're already doing that. And the worst part is that Pal World is being forced to basically count out to all this. Pal World has had to change like a bunch of shit in their game, how the ball comes out, what they're catching it with, all that stuff. All that has changed because we patented some stupid ass thing like throwing a ball and catching a person or catching a thing is somehow like patented. I honestly leave it on the US legal system in this case, at least in our country, to allow these kind of patents to even exist. It's like patenting a square and saying that it's like an original idea. Well, like, what the are we talking about? They just patented, or they're trying to patent summoning a creature. What the like, is Yu-Gi-Oh somehow, and we're right? Like,
what's going on. So we're going to engage in whatever behavior is necessary.
Both companies are in Japan. Yes, that is true. But they're patenting things in America too. And Japan is one thing, but they're patenting it here too.
Get these things done. The requests are really simple. Settle the lawsuit with Power World, right? It's better to coexist than to legally destroy competition. They can both exist. There's no reason why they need to go and try to crush this company other than some zealous, crazy attempt to control the entire genre, to control everything that even remotely looks like Pokemon at all. Also to cease the lawfare against the modding community. The precedent that they will set will stop modding pretty much forever when it's applied to other cases. Once again, people...
I'm not going to pretend I know how patents work. I just know that they're patenting it in America, and that's part of the problem.
Who are defending Nintendo, that are defending this, they hyper-focus on these specific patents, and they get in the details, and they start arguing, well, they filed it then, they filed it then. You're missing the point, right? You're missing the forest. You're looking at a tree. The point is, when you set case precedent, when you go to court and you get a ruling, that ruling is used in other ways, broader ways, beyond just what that one little case says. So
Roe v. Wade.
While you might have an argument pro Pokemon company, right? While you might be able to defend them, you need to understand that when we talk about cases, we're looking at the big picture. We're looking at the law, because as you see in the law, one little case can change everything.
Think about it. Dota 2 started as a mod. League of Legends, that exists because of a mod. The entire
True. Dota was actually before League. League just said, yeah, we're going to do Dota, but we're going to make it so easy cavemen could do it. And Dota was like, yeah, whatever. And now look at League. Tragic.
MOBA genre gone under Nintendo's logic. Battle Royale games, PUBG and Fortnite were born from mods. Brendan Green, player unknown himself, literally made that Scott out of Arma 2. Without mods, half the modern industry doesn't exist.
Not just...
Oh, this guy can't drive for a shit in Mario Kart. You seeing this?
In the country, but in the world, because IP is global. These are considerations all around the world. These impacts are massive for gaming, and it cannot be understated. I'm not understanding this at all whatsoever. They also need to cease the patent trolling behavior. They're engaging in registering overly broad patents in an attempt to control the genre.
Yep.
And what we really want...
It's obviously a monopoly. That's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to create a monopoly over all this crap.
Want them to do is go back to the original vision.
I'm going to be honest with you, this is a bad look for Nintendo. This is going to hurt them badly. They're going to keep, like, people are going to stop buying Nintendo games. The thing they did with the Switch, that pissed a lot of people off. The Switch shit pissed so many people off.
Go back to the vision of the creators.
But Nintendo, they don't give a single They want to make it illegal for fans to innovate so they can swoop in, steal the ideas, slap a Mario sticker on it, and act like they're the geniuses. That's not protecting IP. That's straight up theft. Legalized. That's Fing villains. And don't get me-
They make so much money they don't care anymore. I don't think you understand how these kind of people work. Billionaires and trillionaires, right? Well, if you're a millionaire, you might not be like this crazy, money-hungry, crazy person. But once you become somewhere around a billionaire, the numbers matter less than just having it. And losing any amount of money is like losing all the money. It's like watching the number go up to them. It's like porn. It's weird.
Started on how they've treated fans in general. You remember when they shut down fan projects left and right? Free Pokemon events, Smash tournaments, ROM hacks? Gone.
Yeah, dude.
They sue their own goddamn fans. What kind of company does
dude,
that?
What the fuck?
Right, Nintendo does. This isn't the Nintendo we grew up with. This isn't the Iwata era. Remember Satoru Iwata? The man literally took a personal pay cut, so Nintendo employees wouldn't lose their jobs when the Wii U flopped. That man gave a scope about players, about the people behind the games. He believed in creativity, but
Yeah, well, again, those people have left the company, and now we're left with the money-hungry greed mongers that are also running the United States government, and that's why all of our groceries cost so much money. It's the same shit, bro.
Nintendo, they don't give a
same shit, different industry. These money-hungry freaks, man.
They want to.
It was COVID. COVID caused all this.
Make it illegal for fans to innovate so they can swoop in, steal the ideas, slap a Mario sticker on it, and act like they're the geniuses. That's not protecting IP. That's straight up theft. Legalized. That's Fing villains. And don't get me started on how they've treated fans in general. You remember when they shut down fan projects left and right? Free Pokemon events, Smash tournaments, ROM hacks? Gone. Compare that to today's Nintendo under Doug Bowser. And yes, the irony of his name being Bowser is not lost on me. But here's the kicker, he came straight from EA, the most greedy, soulless company in gaming history.
And how are they doing right now? And how are they doing right now? No, I don't have it anymore. I had this meme of like the new FIFA soccer team. Maybe I can find it. They're all Saudi Arabian. They're all wearing like fully clothed everything. EA Sports. It's in the oil.
And what happens? The EA philosophy infects Nintendo like a goddamn virus. You remember when John Riccitiello, EA CEO, said he wanted to charge players $1 every time they reloaded a gun in Battlefield? That's the mindset these people have. And now it's running Nintendo. So yeah, you get Pokemon Legends ZA $80 base price. Before it's even out, they announce a $30 Mega Raichu DLC. Like, frickin' really? They cut content out of the main game so they can sell it back to us piecemeal. That's not content, crazy. That's theft in reverse. And don't forget Nintendo Switch Online. You pay $30 for peer-to-peer servers, which means your Switch is the server. Nintendo's not—
Dude. I didn't realize that the new Nintendo Switch, you don't even own it. You buy it, and they can just shut it off at any point globally. You literally don't even own the object. This entire movement of like, you don't own anything anymore, you're a subscriber, right? You see it in the car industry too. You try to buy a new car nowadays, they're gonna charge you monthly for the like location services in the car, or to turn on your car remotely. They're gonna charge you a monthly service, right? BMW charges you monthly for heated seats. Like, what are we talking about?
Not even paying for real servers.
It's so fucked, dude.
You're literally paying for nothing. And if you want the expansion pack for classic games, yeah, cough up more cash. Do the math, $80 for the game, $30 for DLC, $30 minimum for online. That's $140 before taxes. One figgin' game. For what? For a half-finished product where the online service is held together with duct tape and hope. And the artificial scarcity, Spygo. Remember Super Mario 3D All-Stars? They made it limited time just to create FOMO.
Your AI cat girl will be a subscription? Yeah, but she'll love me though, so it's different. You're like paying for love at that point, which is a much more valuable product.
9 million copies sold. And then—
Did he just say frickin' like 8 times and then just drop—
Made it limited time just to create FOMO. 9 million copies.
This guy has been censoring the F word the entire thing. He just said, I don't care anymore.
Sold. And then, gone. Can't buy it digitally anymore. Physical copies now cost over $300 on resale. And what does Nintendo do? They release a new Galaxy 1 Plus 2 bundle for $100. That's less content than the original for more money. Absolute scam. That's not nostalgia, that's extortion. And don't think this is just about the games. The Pokemon Company International, under Jennifer Leo, their chief legal officer, has been on a lawsuit binge, suing kids.
This is tripping me the out. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a different voice that I'm like. This is crazy.
Kids suing fans, banning a teenager from a tournament for laughing nervously at a pronoun question, like what the actual. Instead of
wait, they banned a teenager from a tournament for asking what the back that up. I gotta hear that.
I think this is just about the games.
Wait.
The Pokemon Company International, under Jennifer Leo, their chief legal officer, has been on a lawsuit binge, suing kids, suing fans, banning a teenager from a tournament for laughing nervously at a pronoun question, like
Jennifer Leo. You know, a wise man once said that our problems in the world are caused by 2 groups of people. Which group of people do you think that Jennifer Leo belongs to? The incels or the Karens?
what the actual. Instead of
white women? Oh, don't exclusively say white women. You say Karens because black women could be Karens too. Sometimes guys can be Karens. Usually is girls.
Focusing on making good games, they're obsessed with lawfare, suing their own community into oblivion. Legal mindset nailed it. This isn't about protecting IP.
Well, let's get into the they hate kids, right? There's a teen who
They hate kids. What's this girl's name again? Jennifer Leo?
Like, what the actual Instead of focusing on has been on a lot. The Pokemon Company International, under Jennifer Leo, their chief legal officer.
Jennifer Leo. Let's take a look. Jennifer Leo. Nintendo. Let's see. Oh, would you look at that? Damn. Who could have predicted that?
Officer has been on a lawsuit obsessed with lawfare, suing.
She looks liberal. It's really sad that you can tell. I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you guys know that girl that beat the the kid so the dad catches the ball at the baseball game, right? And like walks over to his son and gives it to his son, and then that Karen of a bitch walks over and like bitches out the dad until he gives the ball back. First of all, dad, he should never have. I would have been, get the out of here, bitch. What the hell's wrong with you, fucking psycho? Regardless, the kid ended up winning that. You can take one look at that woman and you're like, God, I wonder if she's left or right. That's crazy. It's so sad, bro.
Their own community into oblivion. Legal mindset nailed it. This isn't about protecting IP.
Well, let's get into the they hate kids, right? There's a teen who was laughed at. A teen who laughed when asked for preferred pronouns was kicked out of a Pokemon card tournament. This is part of their DEI.
Dude, it's okay to it's like, hey, what if somebody asked me what my preferred pronouns were, I would laugh. 100%. I would 100% laugh. Like, because, like,
and other, ESG DEI initiative, they cannot tolerate anybody who doesn't accept their religion and force.
Well, it's not even an acceptance thing. If you laugh about it, you're like, okay, well, clearly I'm, clearly I'm ugly. Like, I don't, or something. Like, you just immediately, you're like, dude, damn it. Right? Like, if somebody came into my chat and was like, hey, so are you like, are you a they, them? I'm like, oh, fuck. God damn it.
Forcing a child to accept your
Not again.
religion or pronouns is not okay. There are many people of different religions, ethnicities, whatever else, that do not acknowledge the use of whatever other pronouns or don't even.
I'm telling you what, Saudi Arabia, FIFA's about to get a lot less LGBTQ friendly. That's the good way of saying it, right? It is what it is. Now, I will say, I think I'm really tired of this day and age where people just can't take a joke. I hate it. I hate it. When I was growing up, men could make fun of women. Men could make fun of men. Women could make fun of women. Women could make fun of men. Everyone could make fun of each other. I mean, shit. Black people make fun of white people. White people make fun of black people. That's how it was, right? Like people make fun of her, and like people could take a joke, right? Because it's a joke. People would laugh. People would make racial jokes. They'd laugh, right? People would make jokes about Jewish people. They'd laugh. They'd make jokes about Christian people. They'd laugh, right? Nowadays, unless you're the notable exception is ironically Christian people. You can, for some reason, make fun of Christian people and get away with it. But God forbid, you make fun of Islamic people, you make fun of Jewish people, any other religion, literally any other religion, you're going to get gunned down in the street, okay? Honestly, somebody walked in the UK, somebody walked into a crowd of people and just yelled the word bacon, GG, jail. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. People cannot take a joke anymore. When I was growing up, they just weren't my friends unless they were literally running me into the ground, okay? I had epilepsy, or I developed epilepsy when I was in high school, and my friends used to come up to me and be like, hey, Blue, you gonna go to the mixer? Show us your new dance moves? And I was like, don't tempt me. I used them on your mom last night. She didn't see any difference between me and your dad. Like, that's how it was, bro. Like, you just fucking went in on each other constantly, bro. You'd make fun of your black friends for being black. You'd make fun of your white friends for being white. You'd make fun of your tall friends for being tall and your gay friends for being gay. That's how it worked. In fact, I will take it one step forward. The gay, lesbian, like LGBT or LGBTQ movement when I was growing up was all about inner acceptance. Accepting who you are, because you could not make everyone else around you think the way that you thought, right? You can't get everyone else to accept the fact that you're gay. You have to be enough for you. You gotta be enough for you. That's just the way that it is, right? That's why Lady Gaga had such gripping, like it gripped a generation in terms of her music. Like what her music said spoke volumes to that generation. And nowadays, I don't know what's happened to that same movement. Now it's, I need validation from everyone but myself so that I can feel better about myself. What the f? You will never get validation from everyone, no matter how hard you try. You will never get acceptance from everyone. It's just not going to happen. Stop trying. Just be enough for you. Just be enough. Okay, so like if you're gonna approach somebody nowadays and they're gay or they're transgender or whatever, you shouldn't be trying to get them to be offended at everything and constantly, because that's how you end up constantly being the victim in your own life. You need to get them to just be like, you know what? I'm trans. F you. When my kid grows up, God, you know, he's gay, whatever. If somebody's making fun of my kid, I'm not going to teach him to take it like a bitch and go tell the teacher and tell on them and get all those people in trouble. I'm going to teach my kid how to turn around and dish it back out at them. Okay? You turn around, you say, yeah, I'm gay. I f***ed your dad in the ass last night. What are you going to do about it, bitch? Like, that's what you do. Run them down, bro. You gotta be enough for you, man. Throw it back at them. They're never gonna accept you. Stop trying to ask for acceptance. Stop trying to throw people in jail for this shit, bro. It's never gonna work. No one's ever gonna agree with you. In fact, you get more people to hate you. That's just how it is. Anyway, tangent over.
You can acknowledge that maybe they don't even
Back to Nintendo.
use pronouns, right? So when you get asked that and you just laugh about it, okay, that's reasonable. In fact, that's even discriminatory against somebody who might not believe in that and might not carry that belief. They just laughed. They didn't hurl out a racial slur. They didn't hurl out anything else. They just laughed. That's it. And they were kicked out of the Pokemon card tournament. And let me read the story here so you guys know I'm not making this up.
They'd have kicked me out at the door. I wouldn't even have been let in. I'm way too offensive. There's just no way.
Listen,
Guess this rules out a Nintendo sponsorship.
Charlotte, a teenager who plays Pokemon trading card game TCG. Remember, this is very similar to like MTG, Wizards of the Coast. I used to play MTG semi-competitively. My ELO score isn't great, but I did all right. I really just like burn. I like to get through it quickly. But anyways. So this guy was playing at a high competitive level and was disqualified after he laughed when he was asked his pronouns. Makani Tran was out $800, a couple of flights, and missed school time after he offended a non-binary judge, cutting his tournament run.
It wasn't even another competitor. It was the non-binary judge. Who, again, we go back to this, which group of people do you think they belong to?
And short for a bizarre reason. The teenager said he never meant to offend anyone and was close to tears when disqualified. Literally, the guy's it's a teenager. You're picking on a child.
Is it a Karen or is it an incel? God, let me think.
You have a judge who's supposed to be neutral, right? Judges are supposed to be neutral. But instead, they have these DEI, ESG approved judges that are out here kicking out children because they refuse to accept their religion.
Well, these people's job is to just make everybody else's lives like miserable. Like these people literally exist just to like try to police everything that you say and do. It's so cancer, bro.
Religion, right? And once again, the religion of you are required to have pronouns, right? That is not something everybody has to accept. And let me be very clear about this. If you want to use alternative pronouns in your regular life, you tell all your friends, do whatever you want, that's your right. You can do that, right? My issue is compelled speech. My issue has always been compelled speech. Compelled speech is wrong. It's un-American, and it should not be done.
He's right. This goes back to what I was saying before. If you want to believe that you are one gender or another, and you want to use certain pronouns, you can do that. and you can control the way that you talk, but you can't force everybody else to call you whatever you want. Somebody could walk up to me on the street and call me an F word, and I'd be like, Slay King, because I can handle them calling me all kinds of shit. Okay? You just have to be okay with it. All right? Like, it's like you can't make people say and do what you want to do or what you want them to do. It's just not how society works. It's never how it's worked. And like everybody used to understand this is a basic thing. Like this isn't even like difficult to understand.
Anywhere, any place.
Bald, yeah, exactly.
Anytime. That is a DI ESG thing, right? That's it. That's all.
Don't expect me to call you a dog. Don't expect me to not call you a dog. Right? What if I go outside, somebody calls me a dog, they're insulting me, right? Like, okay, well, I'm going to around and find out. We're going to find out, right? But I'm witty enough to handle it, but like a lot of people aren't. But here's the thing. Back in the day, if you weren't witty enough to handle it, you just had to handle it your own way. Either you got to punch them or you just got to take it, right? Take it on the chin, whatever. There's plenty of stories about people like that. For generations, we've dealt with this.
And mind you, this was not an instance where this teenager like misgendered the judge, right? The judge had a plaque.
Even if they did misgender the judge, you don't get to throw them out of the fight. That's for society. Let's talk about this all the time. Yes, a lot of people would call it common decency to call someone the correct pronoun that they want to be called. But here's the thing. Sometimes you f it up. You do your best and you're like, ma'am? And they're like, I'm sir. And you're like, but like, and sometimes you're like, yeah, ma'am, and you're intentionally being a piece of shit, but like, that's life. Welcome to the world.
Just having a bad day. He might have Naga fatigue.
Chill out. Chill. Okay, for those of you that don't know, in Black Desert Online, we have groups of mobs called Nagas. Okay, they're like these swamp, like frog-looking creatures. Okay, and sometimes we make jokes, right? Sometimes there are jokes made where you're tired of grinding, right? And there's fatigue that is involved in that, okay? And sometimes you finish grinding and you look around and you say, God damn it, one of these Nagas stole my horse. It is what it is, okay? But like you say that and people don't know the context. It is what it like.
That said, call me they them, and they called it, they called him it.
Mods, you can unban him, but he's got to be timed out for a little while,
or something like that. That wasn't what happened here, right? They just laughed at the question.
But like that's in BDO, it's a reasonable joke, right? It's still borderline joke, but it's like, okay, you get it. Keep it in line, guys. I'm gonna have to ban the word Nagas from the chat. Okay, I don't want to have to do that. All right, you can't use it that way all the time.
That's a much different issue. That's much different. So he even said he was facing off against one of the U.S.'s best players, Alex Shiminsky, and had nerves laughing awkwardly. So literally, this is you're laughing at
Slay. Okay, we don't use it anymore. All right, like it is what it is.
An awkward teenager who's in a high pressure situation. And trust me, I know. I've been in these tournaments. I've gotten to the playoffs, like to the knockout rounds, right? After the general pop is out and you're in the knockouts. It's tense. You're really worried because there's a lot of money on the line. There's status on the line. It's a big thing. So
Did you just time him out for calling you a white knight? Lucy, you got to be able to take it too. I'm letting him back in. Welcome back to the arena, brother. It is what it is. Check his chat history. Well, chat, let's see. Okay, yeah, never mind. No, never mind. Get him the f*** in. All right, never mind. That he's got to go. Yeah, that's rough. That doesn't work. Never mind.
You laugh nervously at that, and they kick you out. Talk about snowflake of snowflakes of snowflake. That is uber DEI. And the fact is, they haven't backed down from that. They've only doubled down from that.
I can't believe they would misgender somebody. That's ridiculous. I got people in the chat going, I've got fatigue, man. What the
under their new chief general counsel, or rather their chief
You guys are gonna get me in trouble. Chill out. Chill.
officer, Jennifer. We're going to get into Jennifer in a second. So here's another one that you guys know.
Christ, I'm ended up streaming on Rumble.
Pokemon sues fans to block a Pokemon party on the eve of the PAX convention in Seattle. It's happened in 2015. So literally these people, these were fans that just wanted to run a Pokemon tournament. A Pokemon event, right? They just wanted to have some themed shots, dancing, giveaways, cosplay. But can fans have nice things under this Pokemon, authoritarian Pokemon regime? No, they cannot. Fans cannot have fun. Fans are not allowed to have fun because the poster had Pikachu and Snivy. I'll show you the next one. Pikachu's image was also used to promote it. So because of this poster here, once again, this is for legal, educational, fair use purposes. I'm showing this to educate, right? It's fair use. It's very fair use. The Pokemon Company International, Kabushiki Gaisha Pokemon. This is the Japanese name right there. Kabushiki Gaisha Pokemon. They hate fans. They hate fun. They hate free events, right? No cover all night with DJ Dirty.
This is about control. It's about lawyers running the show, prioritizing litigation over creativity, and ruining goodwill for everyone. And he's right, Japanese companies hate public embarrassment. That's the only way to get them to pay attention. By making this a spectacle.
Dude, there are some games that, ironically enough, would not even be playable without mods, right? If you consider add-ons, mods, World of Warcraft is literally not even a playable game. It's actually not. It's not even remotely. The game is just broken. You literally won't even be able to play the game. But with mods, with add-ons, it's one of the best MMO. It's probably the best MMO of all time. Not probably the best MMO ever created.
Dragging their bolts into the spotlight. Nintendo doesn't care about you. They don't care about your memories, your nostalgia, your loyalty. They care about your
WoW is getting rid of add-ons? No, it's not. Stop it.
wallet. And they've realized they can shear their fan base like sheep while tossing you just enough crumbs of Mario and Zelda to keep you buying along. And honestly,
it is. No, it's not. Stop it. Is World of Warcraft getting rid? Oh, Jesus Christ! The top thing is of women. Okay. Of add-ons. Jesus Christ, people! What the? No, World of Warcraft is not eliminating add-ons, but Blizzard is gradually removing the functionality of certain combat add-ons, including the built-in game features that replace them, starting with the Midnight expansion. So it's phasing out a lot of the add-ons. It's not like removing them, but it's phasing them out. Maybe they're adding their own add-ons that they'll only charge like a very modest $1, $10, $15 a month to have you be part of the game, right? You could pay for this extra premium service and have all this stuff done in the game for you. You know what I mean? Hashtag Blizzard Entertainment.
it breaks my heart because Nintendo used to be the good guys. Now they're the most predatory, anti-consumer company in gaming. Worse than EA, worse than Activision, because at least those companies never pretended to be wholesome. Nintendo hides.
At least those companies are basically going bankrupt. That's why they're worse, is that Nintendo is winning. That's why Nintendo's worse, is because it's winning.
Behind the illusion of family-friendly fun while gutting their fans financially and legally. So I'll ask you this, are we just gonna let this slide? Are we just gonna keep giving them money every time they dangle a new Pokemon in front of us? Or are we finally gonna say enough is enough? Tell me in the
I think this is the end of the video here.
comments. Is Nintendo beyond saving? Can they fix this? Or are they just straight up evil now? Drop a like if you're sick of this greedy bulls. Share this.
I don't know, dude. I think that the problem is, as he just said, Nintendo appeals to family-friendly audiences, which means kids, right? And parents that don't know any better will buy Nintendo games for their kids because they are, kid-friendly, right? And so I think the majority of the revenue is they're going to keep making money. They're going to stop making money off of the age 22 and up, 25 and up. Our generation, cooked. A lot of us are tired of this shit. Right? Some of the most die-hard Legend of Zelda fans I've ever seen in my entire life, they're done with it, man. Right? The problem is this is like a Mr. Beast situation where you can try to cancel Mr. Beast as much as you want. It doesn't really matter because his audience is a bunch of kids. And the kids don't know, and the parents are going to let them because the parents are uneducated on it. They're not going to care. You can't cancel him. It's not possible. This is a good video, though. There you go. He laid it out really well. A lot of legalese in there too.